This is the journey to one Africa. Alright guys, here's the thing. I don't care whether you love Ruto or you hate Ruto. But what is happening in Kenya is not okay. It is not okay. And let me say this again. I do not care whether you hate the current regime of Kenya or you love, but what is happening in Kenya should not happen in Kenya. We're better than that. We are better than that. We are better than that. I'll say this again. We are better than that. It has to come to a point where we as a people, we as African, we choose. We choose between the lives of people or we choose to do something else. Because whatever that we are doing, out of rage, out of anger, out of frustration, that is leading to the death of innocent people, we should step back, and rethink our actions again. Because today, these lives might not matter to us, to me, because it's not me. But take a moment to think if those people who are dying is you. And I'm talking to the entire nation of Kenya. I'm not talking to the government only. I'm not talking to police only, but I'm talking even to Gen Z. I'm talking to the people who are going around the street and to demonstrate. I want us to take a step back as a nation to think about this. Yes, we want change. Yes, we demand change. And I know all of the time we say these guys that whatever change, whatever revolution that has to come to the continent, it must come with blood. We always say this, but man, I'll tell you the truth, guys. I know that is how things are being run, and I know that's how things are happening. But I will tell you today, we don't have to lose a lot of people for the change to happen. We don't need to lose our friends. We don't need to lose our families. We don't need to lose our brothers and our sisters, our parents, in order to see change in our countries. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that because innocent people are dying. Innocent lives are wasted. What does it mean? It means the visionary people, their lives have been cut short. What is it going to happen if all of us would die? The number of people, more than 31 deaths already in Kenya happening just this second time. More than 30-something deaths happening. People are dying. People are being killed. So before we go to address about these killings, before we go and address about stop killing our people, I think we as a people, as a nation, we have to step back and to rethink. As a nation of Kenya, we have to step back and rethink that, is this really necessary? For many innocent lives to be killed, our people, our friends, our families to die. I've always said this, guys. Okay, I've been having the same conviction from the very beginning. Guys, I don't need to shed my blood to save Africa. You don't need to shed your blood to save Africa. I know this is not how we think, because all the revolutions comes with blood. There must be a sacrifice of blood for revolution to happen. But I'm saying no. I said this before, guys. Me, as a believer, I believe that Christ already shed blood on the cross for us to be free. We have that freedom. Only one man shed his blood on the cross for us to receive freedom and to be free. We don't need to shed blood. Nobody needs to shed any more blood. I say this about Congo, what is happening in Congo, and today I'm saying this about what is happening in Kenya. Nobody has to shed the blood. We don't need to die for the continent. Kenyans, you don't need to die for Kenya. You need to live for Kenya. Africa, we don't need to die for Africa. We need to live for Africa because Africa needs us. If we die, what is it going to be there? What is it going to be there? Our forefathers gave the sacrifice the most. Actually, our forefathers, they died for this continent. You can name Thomas Sankara. You can name even Muammar Gaddafi just a couple years ago. You can name about all of our forefathers who died for this continent. Patrice Lumumba. They gave their lives for this continent to be free. I don't think we should continue to die today for this continent to be free, because there's already blood. Our continent, God, guys, the foundation of our countries in this continent is already built on blood. Why are we keep on shedding the blood? We need to build on that foundation. We need to say this, that, okay, our forefathers died. They gave their lives to fight for the liberation of this continent. Kwame Nkrumah and others, they gave themselves. They gave themselves as a sacrifice for this continent. We don't need to give ourselves as a sacrifice anymore. Yes, we need to sacrifice ourselves, but not, our lives being taken away. But we need to fight. We need to make sure that our continent, our people are living safe. We need to make sure that our families are living safe. That is what we need to make sure right now. But by not killing our people. So Gen Z and the people of Kenya, you don't need to die for your country to be free. And to the government of Kenya, you guys, you don't give life, you don't take life. I said this first time when I came here to address about what was happening in Kenya. The problem that is going on in Kenya or in Africa in general is that leaders, we came to a position that we think that we are deputy gods, and we decide for the people. We make decisions for them. We don't listen to what they want, and we do whatever the heck we want. Let me tell you this. The meaning of leader, it means the one who leads. You cannot be a leader if you don't have people who are following you. And if you are a leader of a country, and if your country has 60 million people, it means you're leading 60 million people. These people, they have different ideas. They have different political beliefs. They have different religious beliefs. They have different agendas. Some of them might like you. Some of them might hate you. It's possible when you lead the entire country. But your goal as a leader is to make sure that you bring your people together as one and lead them towards the destination, towards the promised land. So bringing all these different people with different ideologies, different tribes, different nationalities, different whatever, to bring them together and guide them, leading them towards the vision that you want your country to go is not easy. Because some of them will agree with you, some of them will oppose. So how can we bridge the gap between these two different people who hate you and love you? That is the ethic. That is the essence of leadership. I'm not here to tell you how can you bridge that gap. If you're a leader of a country, it means you know the essence of bringing your people together. So in case of Kenya, there's an issue always with tribalism. All right. So as the president of Kenya, His Excellency William Ruto, how can you bridge the gap between these rival tribes to come together and to work together for the benefit of Kenya? Finding that solution, that is the essence of your leadership. But right now, that essence of leadership has gone because the country is divided. So you can either choose to listen to those who loves you, those who says, hurrah, you're doing a good job, or you can actually pay more attention to the people who hate you. Because a lot of time we get offended with people who are not supporting our visions and are supporting the way we are going, and we pay full attention to our political parties, to people who are supporting us, but those people, they always lead us astray. You need to pay attention to the critics. You need to pay attention to those who are crying because they need change to see in the country, because those people, it's not because they hate you. Because I remember when President William Ruto came to regime, even myself, I've supported him 100%. A lot of Kenyans supported him. They knew this is the liberation of our country. Of course, some of them, they did not believe, they did not trust from the very beginning. And some of them are my friends, they warned me, but I did not listen to them because I said that I need to give him a chance. I cannot just decide based on what you said. I'm giving him a chance. If he's going to prove me otherwise, I'm going to change my stand. I'm supporting him right now because I see him is going towards the right direction. But if he changes, I'm going to change. And that's exactly what I did. I came back here and I say, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. So the essence of leadership is that. And Kenya has lost that. So how can we get back to the essence of leadership? This is where President William Ruto, and I pray that you succeed on this, that God will grant you wisdom to know how to put to an end what is happening, because these lives of people who are dying, this blood is on your hands. I'm sorry to say this, but this blood is on your hand, whether you agree with me or not, but you are a leader. You are the leader of Kenya. People are looking up to you. And now 31 deaths, 31 people and still counting are dying simply because they're demanding for the change of the country. So I see this news that Kenya's president says enough is enough and vows to end anti-government protest. This is the threat. I'll tell you the truth. This is not going to work. I'll tell you right now, President William Ruto, this is not going to work. You're not going to be able to end anti-government protest. If 31 people have died, I'm telling you, the only problem you're going to have is more death, because these people are not going to back down. They're determined. They have nothing to lose. They're willing to give their lives to fight for the change of the country. So you can either vow to end anti-government protest, or you can vow to truly listen, and not just listen, but hearing what they're saying, hearing and literally bring total transformation in your government. Because I still believe that you can. You can still bring the country together because you are the president. You have that anointing on you. You are the president right now. But don't use your leadership to strike everybody else. Instead, use the leadership that God has trusted you with to bring the people together. And people will come together when they know that the first interest of your leadership is for the country of Kenya, is for the people of Kenya, and not otherwise. When you put the interests of the nation first and your own agenda second, people will trust and will believe on what is moving. If you have failed that over and over and over again to do that, then this is the moment to actually show that in action, even better, to bring the country together, because nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to go out to protest, not to do their work and just end up dying. Nobody wants that. I'll tell you the truth. Nobody wants that. Okay, yes, there might be people who are supporting. I see this news that, there's a claim that the people who are supporting these riots and these protests and this violence that is going on around the street, we should get back to our seat and think, what can we do? What should we do to stop what is happening? Not for the sake of, not for only the sake of, stopping the protest, but when we stop the protest, we stop the deaths of our people. And I think that is the right way to see this. And I think that is the right way to pursue this. So, dear President William Ruto, the time has come. I know some people want to impeach you. And I've heard your speech couple days ago saying that, okay, guys, if you don't want me, if you want to remove me from the government, there's the laws. So next time when you go to the ballots, vote for somebody else. Or you can use the way of impeachment, whatever. You can use the proper way, but not violence protests. So for these, I'll talk even for the people of Kenya. I'll tell you the truth. Violence, it doesn't help anything. When you protest and you're being violent, what is going to end up with? You're going to end up dying because you have police there, you have military there holding the firearm. So if you use violence, they're going to shoot you. They're not going to hesitate. They're going to shoot you and kill you, just like this 31 deaths. These people have been shot and killed. So you can protest, but please, I beg you, please, raise your voice, be reasonable. Don't use violence, because if you use that, then more lives are going to be wasted, and it's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it. If all of you guys died, it's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it. So what you can do, literally can do, if there's a way of impeachment, please do that. If there's a way to vote for somebody else during the election, please do that. That is how we bring about change in our countries. But we're not going to bring change if we use violence, because we're going to end up dying. And I'm saying this because I love you guys and I want you guys to be safe. But violence is not the answer and is not going to bring the change we want. It's only going to bring rage and wars and, civil wars and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to end up losing more than 31 people just dying because of fighting for the change of the country. So this is my call to the people of Kenya, and this is my call to the government of Kenya, that listen to your people and do something that will stop immediately these protests. And for the people, please don't protest in violence. It's not going to add anything. In fact, it's going to take everything away from you, because most of you guys will die if you keep on doing this. As you see the president of Kenya vow to end anti-government protest, I think it's the time to wake up, to know that the African people have they woke up, and we really demand and wants to see the change that we want to see in the continent. So you can either agree with us and be on board, or disagree with us and face consequences. The choice is yours. So my hope and prayer for Kenya, that you guys will be safe, that we'll see no more death for our people in Kenya. Love and peace, and I pray for you guys to keep moving forward in peace and in harmony. One Africa, one passport in our generation. Appreciate it, guys.